formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood. Press this advantage. Give them no quarter. Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken. Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten. Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home. The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it. In Radiance, may we find victory.
Foolish horrors, brought low and driven into the mud.
Curious is the trap maker's art, his efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
Obliterated.
a slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
As victories mount, so too will resistance. Reeling, about to break.
Annihilated.
Decimated.
How you guys doing?
success so clearly in view? Or is it merely a trick of the light?
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption. Hacks laden with loot are often low on supplies. A fortune waiting to be spent.
2005. That's all strong. It sucks if it never stacks. Shouldn't need that many torches.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born. Executed with impunity. A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless. another abomination, cleansed from our lands. Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage. Death by inches. Is the weapon that cuts on its own. Assault cannot be left unanswered. Impressive.
bosses in the game. This guy's a collector, and then they're really annoying though. I didn't see it.
A singular strike.
Kind of it's luck, there's a caravan every time you come back from a mission, you get like 4 or 5 heroes, so it kind of takes all the heroes. See right now they're armor level 3 out of like 6. They're about halfway as powerful as they really are. Turn it up after this fight. I'll do it right now, 1 sec. Hello? Let me know if that's better. Okay. And then if I get text,
Masterfully executed.
and he's gonna go. Yes. Okay. Finally. It took a long time. Better get some good loot. I'm surprised nobody's gonna show us out. Do you play this too?
Be wary.
Decent.
Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Just a random battle. Basically there's 5 types of dungeons, like an undead one, a fish one, a pig / undead thing, and I can't remember what the other one is. And there's the darkest dungeon, and they all have 2 types of mini bosses, and then they're like the Rattler or something. If you let your torch get too low, you have a chance of spawning this guy who's like super hard, but he gives some of the best armor in the game. Yeah, I guess it's been out for like a year. It used to be I guess it's always been on PC, and then they just released on PS4 and Vita, because I see like a lot of guides and stuff online from like last year. But no, that was just a mini boss. I should run into the end boss here in a second. It's the Necromancer. And of course, like, even though regular minion groups have their own little like commander guy, you know, most people only have like 20 HP and then sometimes run into little ones. Yeah, I saw this in the game store, and I think it was like $10 or something. I don't know, with PS Plus. So I had to grab it. Just finished playing like Deus Ex. Got tired of No Man's Sky. Played a couple cheap war games, and I'm just kind of waiting. At least in like 4 days, I'm gonna play the new Warhammer game. I like that like game world or whatever, the Vermicide. And then it's not really a lot coming out till November, December.
Eradicated.
No, played like the Dragon Warrior RPG like a lot of years ago. Is that like a spin-off or something? The Minecraft RPG?
Devastating blow.
Real quick, and then 2 more rooms should be there.
Ringing ears, blurred vision. The end approaches.
No, you get to choose the party order.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
It's yours to end, so shouldn't need more torches. Actually, I use up this food. You can change the party order to be whatever you want, and then everybody's skills you can only use from like, so that one you have to be in the first 3 rows. That you can only use from the first 2. Basically, all the abilities they have are position dependent, and then they can hit certain positions on the other team. And then so basically, let's have the healer in the back because she can only do her strong heal from the last 2, and then she can only do her group heal from the first 3, and then, I mean, her damage is really small, so there's really no reason to have her up front. And then right behind her is the Jester, and you can only use his songs from the 3rd row or back, and from that position you can use his bleeds, which are the most useful. And then the Hellion I just keep up front because, I mean, she is kind of the tankiest. And then the Houndmaster is just there for like damage. The inventory is an issue just because on short dungeons, so basically there's short, medium, and long dungeons. Short dungeons are only like 4 or 5 rooms, so you really don't find that much treasure, so you don't get filled up. But like this medium one is like 12 rooms, you know, so like it comes to a point where you get full and then you just, you know, like you have to throw stuff away just because, like, okay, this is worth 2,500 and you find like a 200 piece, you know, you just have to prioritize. And it's hard too because you have to keep useful items too, not just treasure, because you run into obstacles you can only clear with certain items. So it's kind of a balance between making sure you have the items you need to get to the end and getting the most valuable treasure. It's like I almost threw away those torches. That would have been a trophy. Alright. Boss battle next. Sorry, I went the wrong way. Yeah, make sure you zoom out on the map. I was supposed to go up, but I hit right instead.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
Yeah, it is. Basically, you always move from left to right on the screen, and then when you get to the edge, you use the right stick to choose whether you go left, right, down, or up. So it's kind of, yeah, a little weird.
Back to the pit.
Yeah, there's a lot of different party compositions. You can go like full damage or like full tank. So far I found this to be kind of the most useful and reliable because, I mean, it's got like medium damage. Yeah, it takes some time to kill some things, but you got really good heals. And then the other thing in the game you got to worry about is not just your HP, but if you look, you see like under their XP they got this stress level. If they reach 100 stress, they like go through this challenge thing where you see those quirks up there. Either it's like a 50-50 dice roll, you get a positive trait, which is great, or you get a real negative one, which like hurts your characters and makes the rest of the dungeon more difficult. And then if they hit 200 stress, they have a heart attack and die. So there's like 3 characters that have ability that reduce stress, and the Jesters is the best. So basically I have the healer to do a little bit of damage and heal their HP, the Jester to do a little bit of damage and heal their stress, and then the other 2 are just there for damage.
A decisive pummeling.
Yeah, that's one of the issues. Originally I didn't have a stress healer, which is an issue on short dungeons, but definitely the medium to long, and especially with some of the bosses, like, yeah, I mean, if you don't have a way to reduce their stress, you pretty much have to quit the dungeon or just, you know, go until they die. You can camp on medium and long dungeons, but again, you have to have the right character skills, and, I mean, you can only camp like 2 times, which in a real big dungeon, I mean, you can get your stress up real high real quick. No, I've never heard of that. It's like a dungeon crawler too, or what kind of game is that?
victory. Perhaps the turning
See, like,
point.
he's only worth 500, and you know what I mean? Oh wait, maybe I can stack some. No, see, they only stack up to 4. So basically everything I have in my inventory is worth more than both of those. Okay. And if you try to move left, basically you take stress damage, so I have to go in the next room and then go walk to the right and then go left to go back left. Yeah. Alright, now we'll go to the boss. Thank God, just enough food left. If you don't have food and they get hungry, then they'll starve and you'll take a bunch of damage. So okay, boss time.
As the light gains
save real quick,
purchase, spirits are lifted
just in
and
case it goes
purpose is
bad.
made clear. I entertained a delegation of experts from overseas, eager to plumb the depths of their knowledge
And then
and
I guess
share
there's
with
three
them certain
versions of this guy.
techniques and
I killed the
alchemical
apprentice
processes I
necromancer. He was real easy,
had
so
found to yield wondrous
we'll see if
and
this one's
terrifying
easy or
results.
not.
Having learned all
But now we're
I
on
could
like
from my
level 3,
visiting
which
guests,
is the
I murdered them
veteran,
as they
so it's a little
slept.
harder.
A devil walks these halls.
Go.
Only the mad or the desperate go in search of him.
Feed people real quick. Sure my torch is up.
The light, the promise of safety. Towering, fierce, terrible, nightmare-made material.
Yep. Basically, there was a apprentice, this guy at level 3, and then there's probably level 5, like master necromancer or something.
Powerful blow.
I don't want to speak too soon, but he might actually be good. Unless he's got some other tricks up his sleeve.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
I think he's gotta make sure he doesn't summon too many zombies.
A singular strike.
I could get a couple quick hits if he's
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
But actually the Shambler and that collector we met, sometimes those random mini bosses, just because they're rare, are actually a lot harder than some of the story bosses. So that guy was, and yeah, like you see these skeletons aren't really doing anything, whereas those collectors, tentacles or whatever, those ghosts are so annoying. Skeletons are kind of stupid, but it's nice. We already had like 2 special battles in this dungeon. But it's also kind of anticlimactic, you know. I expect it to be a lot harder. No, the random bosses usually don't have a narration. It was just for the opening of like the story fight. And sometimes your characters talk. Usually it narrates like if you get a critical hit or if you hit by a critical hit, or if the character's almost dead, you know, it kind of just goes with that.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
So he was way easier than the boss we already fought in the dungeon.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Like, oh, see, she's at 96. Trying to reduce her stress, and she was at 4 more points. She'll have like a semi-heart attack, and then make sure you keep an eye on it. It goes up real fast. So, like in one fight, she went from 0 to 100, and she hardly even got hit. This skeleton is harder than the necromancer was.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Oh, nice. We made room. And that's that. So whenever you meet a quest objective, you can go straight back to town, or if there's anything you missed or want to do still, you can stay and explore. The bleed damage over time ability was from the jester. I'll show you after. But nice, that was a nice haul we made. 23,000. Got a ring. So after you do the mission, basically, depending on the length of the dungeon, you get a different amount of resolve experience. So usually it's 2 to 4 for a short dungeon. This is a medium dungeon, so we got 8. And then a long dungeon, I haven't had a long dungeon yet, but that's probably like 12. And basically they start at level 0 and go all the way up to 6. The annoying thing is, as they level, so how do I say this? Once you reach level 3, you can't do starter missions anymore. You can only do veteran missions and above, if that makes sense. Basically, any level you are, you can go into a higher tier dungeon, but obviously you're much weaker than the enemies, and you take a lot more stress damage, like your characters freak out. And once you actually do get powerful, you can't go back into lower level dungeons and, like, you know, destroy everything. So, I mean, it's kind of balanced that way, but it's kind of annoying because, you know, you basically always have to face challenging content, which, you know, isn't a bad thing. It's just like, it'd be nice to just go back and farm easier stuff for gold and stuff. And then, you randomly acquire negative and positive traits after a dungeon, so like negative stress healed, chance to turn any miss into a hit. Ooh, that's actually awesome because he misses a lot. And then you get like yeah, basically there's positive ones though. You do more damage to enemies, or take less damage, have advantages in certain dungeon types, and you get diseases too. So let's look at that.
A finely crafted
Free
instrument
upgrade,
of butchery
weapon times one.
and bloodshed. Yours
So this is
for
the town.
taking.
The resolve / character levels 1 to 6 are set as far as you gather enough experience and you level up. Those trait things are random. Partly it's depending on what happens to the character inside the dungeon. Like if you hit a trap or get scared by something, or your stress level gets too high, or an enemy inflicts you with, you know, a disease, then you definitely get that. Aside from that, you just kind of randomly get things. So in the town you got the stagecoach. I'll start left to right. So you got the camping survivalist place. Each character has camping skills. On medium or long dungeons you get basically firewood and tents, and you can camp to basically take a break and heal between during the dungeon. And each character has different camping skills to use. You got the stagecoach, which, like I said, after every mission you get new heroes you can recruit, and you can level it up and get like different types, increase your roster. Like right now I can only carry, I'm actually going to do that, so now I can carry 20 heroes. And then if you level up the blacksmith, the guild, and the armor, then you can basically get a chance to spawn characters that are higher than level 0. You have a tavern, which, so I usually handle stress healing by just doing it in the dungeon with my jester, but for parties that don't have a stress heal in the dungeon, after you get back to town you pretty much have to heal their stress by having them like drink or gamble in a bar, or praying in the church, like slapping themselves with leather belts. Some people like that. The sanitarium, that's where you like cure those diseases. So let's see, like she got a spotted fever, which isn't a real big deal, but we'll just heal it. And you just pay money. And then in the bar, the tavern, all these things, it takes a whole week. So basically every dungeon you do is a week, and it takes a week to heal things. So if you put a hero in to heal something, you have to go do another dungeon run, and you can't use that character until you get back. No diseases. No diseases. Nothing. So, and we're gonna save that quirk real quick. So if you look on the quirk thing, those skulls mean they're locked in. So basically you acquire a skill, and if you have it a certain amount of time, it locks in. If it's not locked in, you can pick up skills and it'll knock the ones you already have off, because you only have room to hold 5 skills at a time. So I'm going to lock that one in because I like that. So I'm going to lock in. Oh my god, that costs 9,000. Maybe we won't do it right now. I think it should get knocked off oldest to newest. And I don't really care about the first couple. But yeah, I need more money before I start doing that. Okay. There's a trinket shop where you can buy new equipment. I already have all that stuff. And again, all these shops you can upgrade to get more stuff or have it cost less. In the blacksmith, you can level up their weapons and equipment. Same thing, you gotta level it up. And it gets more and more expensive. In the guild, you level up the skills of their abilities, make them more powerful. basically every character's got 7 skills, but you can only equip 4 at a time. Like I was saying, there's 4 different types of dungeons, and then when you get to level 6, towards the end of the game, you do the darkest dungeon. But yeah, it takes a little bit to get into, and then, I mean, as far as I can tell from watching other people, you can pretty much do any group composition you want. You just kind of have to make sure it synergizes. So basically when you start there, you do apprentice dungeons, which you can do until you hit level 3, and then you have to move on to veteran dungeons, which you can do until 5, and then you have to do champion dungeons, and then 5 and up you can do champion and the darkest dungeon. And then so really you kind of want to have 2 or 3 different parties. You know, you can use your lower level characters to do easy dungeons and save up, you know, easy gold, and then kind of, you know what I mean? Plus, it's a good idea to have, you know, a couple of different group compositions because, you know, say my healer died, well, my group's kind of screwed until I get another hero leveled up, you know what I mean? Because I only have, the level 4 guys can't party and play with the level 1s, really. So yeah, I'm probably gonna do a low level dungeon. I need some gold. I need to get 9,000 so I can pay for that stuff. So I'll do these guys. I'm actually gonna try something. So, you can't change people's like weapons and equipments. You just upgrade them in the blacksmith. But everybody can equip 2 of these trinket things. Which there's class-specific ones, like only the Crusader can use this, the Hellion that, and then there's non-class-specific ones which anybody can use. But usually they're not as strong. And then obviously they sell for a lot of gold if you don't need them. Yep, take care. Thanks for watching. I'll probably do one more dungeon quick, and then I gotta get some dinner. So we'll do this real quick. You find them in dungeons, or you can buy them in the shop. So far I haven't bought any from the shop just because they're so expensive. So all the ones I have I found in dungeons. You can preview every dungeon and see the rewards you're going to get, so you can go and see which trinket you're guaranteed to get if you beat the mission. And then you pick up random ones by killing monsters and bosses and stuff inside the dungeon. I need some Vestal stuff. Oh no, the ones that are in the shop just spawn randomly. It's just a random chance what shows up in there. You don't have to unlock them. I really don't have anything good I want right now.